Hey YouTube, it's Angela. Today we're going to talk about how to, when we're in survival mode in a situation where we feel trapped and finding, other ways to move through those besides fighting back or getting into some lower vibrational energy. We're going to find a way to smooth our path through it. We start out, I'm pulling this week from two different oracles. I've got the Urban Crow Oracle deck, and also the Wild Mystic. And these are all animals. The entire reading is animal based here. And then, of course, we clarify with the Zen Tarot cards. And we've got Survival is our first card from the Crow deck. This is showing this bird. He's kind of trapped under that bush, not really wanting to move because the fox may see him, and the fox was looking for dinner, right? This is that energy of feeling trapped, and then our mental faculties, or whatever that word is, our mental energies are totally focused on getting out of it, right? We're not really seeing a bigger picture. We're not seeing how this adversity might be a bigger message from the universe, asking us to pause or, wait as the solution works itself out. We may not see that because we're trapped in our mind, and our minds, which we want to use for creativity and novel ways to move through this, are kind of trapped with us. Like, how do I get out of this? The first thing I want to do is get out of this pain, right? That we become very singularly focused on let me out of here. So our creativity is sort of stifled. Consider how you might move in a situation like this, or if you do at all. If you feel trapped under some burden, maybe it's a overload of work, or another person's opinion of you, or another person's request, expectations of you, and they're not really aligning with where you want to be. Consider what your response is, what your drive is, to that. Do you want to sort of just hunker down and let everything, all the adversity, just kind of fizzle away somehow? Or do you want to find different paths and move yourself away from this feeling of discomfort? So that's our opening card. We all get into these situations. For me, I get into a lot of burdensome situations with my schedule. And I do feel trapped sometimes. I have this saying where I say, my schedule is controlling me, not the other way around, right? Because I'm just caught up in it. And it is, there's less room for movement. It creates added stress that isn't needed. So that's interesting. So we're gonna find our way through this using the intuitive guidance from the divine through me and my cards. All right, so the Zen cards I pulled with the survival card are morality. This is a mental energy. This is your own self-imposed viewpoint that everything's sort of one way or another. It's either good or bad, black or white, yes or no. There's no room for any gray area or any movement within that. So in a way, if you are holding this kind of an outlook on life, labeling things as that's good, that's bad, stay clear of that because it's bad, without opening up a little bit for the gray area and going, oh, okay, that is uncomfortable, and let me sit with it and see if I can find a way to move through it. Instead, we say that's bad and we shy away, or we don't engage. So this is asking you to sort of relax that sort of binary way of thinking so that you can presence yourself into the moment and see the circumstances and find your little, nooks and crannies and find your way through this uncomfortable energy. Sometimes this outlook itself this good and bad, yes and no, puts us in survival mode because it's so restricting. Our mind is restricting us from having an open, creative, and even heart-led way to find our way through things. So sometimes survival mode is created by us. That's a heavy one. I know I've definitely done that in the past. And then the other Zen card I pulled with this morality, this only two-sided way of seeing things, I got exhaustion. That leads to a draining of your energy. And if you're in survival mode, like we said, because of this perception, you're kind of, you're turning your energy on yourself. You're creating more of a stuck place than needs to be. But if this survival mode is something that's, external, or maybe a certain a relationship that you've got that you feel just isn't really making moves, then consider opening up your perception on it. And instead of saying, you said that to me and that's bad and that's wrong or whatever, consider the other one is just like let's see, a couple of weeks ago, we did the 4 agreements, and we said, don't take things personally. Leave room for that. Leave room to consider the other person is having their own set of circumstances and speaking and behaving in ways that may not align with you, but are out of their own need for survival or all they could come up with or whatever. So it's just really a way to open the situation up and see more gray area and more nuance than just, this is what's being done to me. This is, how I see it, and they're wrong. They're doing me a wrong here, that kind of a thing. It's really leaving room for more possibility, and then that leaves room to move yourself through it as well. The next oracle I got is protect. This is represented by the koala. I love this, and I think that if I were to read the little booklet that comes with this, it would probably say, protect your loved ones, protect your children, protect, like the koala does. But I'm really taking this as protect your own energy, shield your own energy from this adversity, from your own your own perception, your own yes, no, black and white kind of way of seeing things. Within you, your energy is, the core of it is love. And holding that, and it's protecting it, not in a defensive way, not like with armor, energetic armor, but more like a thick, blanket, more like a cozy, comforting, loving energy that helps protect the love within you. And the Zen cards I got with that are the Lovers. This is really being able to acknowledge and put energy toward your own self-compassion, toward caring for your own energy enough that you don't fall into battlegrounds or lower vibrational situations with others or within yourself. So having enough self-compassion and holding that as and honoring that and protecting it and holding it as one of the most important things you need to move forward, that will help ease some of this pressure that you feel. And then along with that, I got trust. And this is, sometimes that's a big leap, like this figure, flying through the air, no real support shown, but really kind of knowing that the support is there. It's not always tangible support, but energetic support is always there. And it starts with your own shielding your vibration and sitting with that for a while and letting that develop and grow within you so that it's stronger and that you can then soar with a sense of trust. And then the next card I pulled is from the Crow deck, and it's Bond. Now, this is kind of, first of all, it does tell us that crows, ravens, they typically mate for life. So it's like a definite connection that they make with their mate. Um, I was reading about how sometimes they stray, sometimes the males, mostly males, stray, but mostly they bond for life. So there's always that other to rely on. There's always that source of strength that you can bounce, off of. But for us, since this is energy work, we're not really talking about another. We could be, I'm not going to say not completely, but the first thing that comes to me is tap into that bond of your own inner well of power, your own source of love, your own knowing, just knowing that you'll get through this, right? Remember, we started in survival mode. Now we're going deeper within and kind of going, I can get through this. Wherever you feel deeply connected. Now it could be a person, it could be your career, a certain place that you go to that you feel connected to that's rejuvenating. It could be a concept, an idea. For me, mostly it is a concept. It is that knowing that comes through when I'm in adversity or I'm in a sticky space. I can always revert to and tap into that inner knowing. And it's been after years of developing that practice. It's not like, doesn't come to me automatically. I used to be a huge, huge worrier. Worry was all I did. But over the years with the work that I've done and some intuitive guidance of my own, I've found a place where I can immediately, if I'm in something sticky or uncomfortable where I do feel trapped, then I go, or I feel like my progress is being held up, right? An obstacle. I go straight into that. Okay, it's all working out. Somehow I can't see how yet, but it is all working out. So finding whatever that is that you're deeply connected to, it could be certain poetry. It could be, writings and, from different wisdom teachings. It could be, different, another person. It could definitely be another person that you bounce off of. But wherever you feel that deep connection, find your strength from it. Recognize and use that strength, that power. This is, remember, after you've protected your energy and gone within and kind of like, okay, let me hunker down for a minute and then see if there's ways I could move through this. And then you deepen the work and you get to that place where whatever you draw strength from is what's holding you in place. And the Zen cards I pulled with that are a source, obvious. It's funny how they come out because, yeah, because this is the core. This is your the core of your being. This is that inner place that knows, right? Your soul, the deepest part of who you are. And then with that source card, I pulled aloneness. So when we're talking about finding whatever that bond, whatever that source of strength is that we want to draw upon, many times you find it within, right? Remember, loneliness. This is not loneliness. It's aloneness. It's not the absence of someone. It's the presence of yourself. And coupled with that source card, that's a powerful combination. It all ties together. It's all kind of asking you to trust yourself, the decisions you make to move away from this feeling of being trapped. Trust the universe and its timing, right? It's just really calling for you to slow the pace, not use as much mental energy to move out of it at first. Remember that morality was mental energy and it leaves us exhausted because we also have to bring our heart space into this situation, into every situation. We should always have our heart going along for the ride, sometimes leading, sometimes taking a backseat to our mind, but always working in concert. And then the next card I got is rebirth. This is depicted by the snake. So this is your moment of shedding your energetic skin out from under this feeling of being trapped or being stuck in a situation or seeing no way out. After the going within, the protecting, and the tapping into your strength, then you get to release. You get to at least release a layer of the pain that held you in place, right? And stepping into a new version of you, being able to emerge. This is evolution. This is renewal. This is not, oh, I got through that and it's all done and it'll never happen again. This is a phase, a stage, another step, another uncovering of part of who you are, who you have been to this point, and the ways that you've worked through adversity up until now. This is leaving room open for a new path forward, for a new way, and really acknowledging, I let this go. I release this belief, whatever that is, that there's no way out, or there's only two ways of doing things, like the morality card says. I release that belief and I will stay open to what is and to what comes to me for my progress. And so there's a freedom in this rebirth card, releasing some of that old layer, and then also stepping into the fresh and the new. And I mean, the Zen cards that came with this, come on. With rebirth, I got Thunderbolt. This is releasing that skin, that energetic skin, shedding it, letting it fall away. It's not serving you anymore. You can let it go. If it was an outlook, like the morality card, or if it was a stance that you're taking to keep you trapped in this adversity, let it go. Let at least an aspect of it go, so that you can feel lighter and more space to keep growing and evolve. And then I got rebirth. So with the rebirth card, I got rebirth again. This is that emerging from the now this card's interesting. It talks about 3 cycles of being, and we repeat them a lot. That's part of how we grow and evolve. The sort of 3D energy of the camel, I sit, I sleep, I eat, that's it, right? I function. We get into that mode sometimes, right? Just kind of dialing it in. Let me just keep going. Then after a while, we may get a little bit tired of that same routine and that same rut, and we become that lion where we speak out, or we make a new move and show ourselves, right? And make ourselves, break that monotony. And from that, the child, the new version of you comes through. And then you go along down that road until you go back to the camel again and you find more growth. This is all about cycles of growth. And so it's wonderful that it came. The rebirth card shed the skin and emerge new. It's really a powerful part of the reading. And then the final set that I pulled, now that you've established, okay, I made it through that, that survival mode situation. I feel lighter. I feel like I relied on my inner being to move myself through this, right? And I was able to emerge in a new light, in a new way, with new information, with new energy moving forward. Then I got waterproof. This is kind of taking the experience that you went through, right? And coming through this and emerging in a new way, and then kind of learning from it in the way that, the crows have this sort of covering, this greasy kind of a feeling on their feathers, so that they're always, the storm that comes just slides right off. They can survive it because they're literally waterproof. And your energy can be too. Once you've established, okay, I made it through that survival thing. I started by protecting my own vibration and then tapping into a deeper source of strength, creating a renewal and a new version of me. Now I get to, once you've learned some of these steps and that you have the power to transform adversity and move through it, without too much damage, then once you've learned that, you kind of can't unlearn it, right? You already know you can make this through. And that's what this card represents to me, is that, moving forward, if I get into another sticky situation, I can tap into, all this knowledge and this learning and this new level that I'm operating from, and really sometimes with some things, just let them pass. I don't have to engage in every little roadblock or every little source of adversity. So, and this also is kind of saying, I don't, I, even in amidst a storm and bad weather, maybe someone else is launching horrible words at you, or creating action that's, counter to what you believe in. Maybe there's an outside force that's kind of, creating a storm around you, an energetic storm. You can stay protected and not let it penetrate your energy, because you've created that bond with that source of strength. You can come out of this and think, okay, come at me again, because it's not going to work this time. I know where I stand. I'm fully aligned, and it's okay. If you want to keep trying to get at me, but I'm protected energetically. This is all energetically, we know. And then the Zen cards I pulled with that are healing. It's a card of emotion, but it's also that alignment that we spoke of, right? Body, mind, spirit, and kind of knowing that when we're in our alignment like this, first of all, it heals some past misalignments, right? We can regain our alignment and hold that steady to keep things from repeating themselves. So that's the act of healing. And then also the card I got here, it was completion. So it's almost like you went through one cycle, started out with this adverse situation, this thing where you felt trapped, and you went within, you figured out your way through, right? And I want to say too that everyone, oh my gosh, there's a crow. There's always a crow out there when I pull from my crow deck. Hi, or you might be a raven. I don't know the difference, but little blackbird outside. So yeah, the completion card kind of represents, I made it through one cycle of adversity. When it comes again, and it will, because we don't get through life, unharmed. Things happen, and we do have to manipulate and shift our course and find, ways to get through some of this stuff. But once it comes again, because we've established, you're not going to get through to my energy here. You could try, but you're not through. So I like that the completion card is sort of just, it comes at the end of this cycle, but we know if it comes again, we kind of know the path to take. We know how to protect our vibration so that we can move through in our way, in our authentic way, utilizing, the power that we have within us. Okay, I'm going to just pull one little bonus card from this deck called Notes from the Universe on Love and Connection. And these are just quick messages from the universe through me, through the cards. And let's see what we get. Let me shuffle this again. Okay. Oh, there's one. It flipped right over. Well, that's pretty simple. I got be true to yourself. That's the key, right? That's the key for all of this. Even if we find ourselves in a trapped situation, or, buried, like me, buried under my schedule all the time, finding that little space of solace within you helps to start to, generate the strength and the power that you need to reach your full alignment and make it through the other side as quickly as you can and as smoothly as you can. All right, that's going to do it for now. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you soon.